Happy Tuesday again, boys and girls. I apologize for the video me and my man Rob made. The mics weren't hot. We thought they were. Sarah thinks she's figured out you got to start the microphones first. This is a video that I didn't think I was going to ever make. I'm going to tell you a sad story. It was tough, and I'm not really. One of my best friends, Mike's going to watch this. I met him in '88, so you'll meet him on video whenever we can get together, but you'll hear about him in my next college video. I usually do these through my high school years. I did 2 semesters at a time, but I'm going fall 1987. We will include a little music. As y'all see, I hadn't quit smoking yet. After our Nashville trip, I'm going to try hard to do just that. But 87, that summer, was a good summer. I started dating a little girl younger than me. I won't give her name because we're still friends, but she's out there. She was like 3 years, like 15. Her mom wasn't too happy about it. And looking back, I completely understand why. With my long hair and earrings, she probably figured I was up to no good. Just being an 18-year-old boy, she probably figured that. But anyway, I won't discuss my relationship with this young lady, but we dated for about 2.5 years. We thought we were in love and getting married. You know how it is when you're that age. And, of course, we married, just not each other. That summer, the U2 record I mentioned in my last video was real popular still. The Joshua Tree kept spinning hits on the radio. The Beastie Boys, we were still blasting that. We had a couple of great rock and roll albums that I will do on the album of the day eventually. They come out in '87, but they didn't really hit big till '88. So one being the Guns N' Roses debut, Appetite for Destruction. Another being Def Leppard's comeback after they got the drummer set up, Hysteria. Both great records. And, of course, I was still listening to the same stuff I did listen to, Led Zeppelin, Van Halen. You know, the kind of music that I've talked about with these albums because I've been playing these records for over 40 years. Me and my man Rob that you met last Saturday when the microphones didn't work, our senior year, we basically go out on the weekends and drink, party, and have fun. Drink and drive. Well, I didn't do much driving. I did drive occasionally. Stuff we shouldn't have been doing, but thankfully we got away with it. We were never caught. And no, the drinking age wasn't 18 then. I'm not quite that old. Close, though. It was 21. Didn't matter to us at all. He would put on his dad's trucking uniform. He was a big guy anyway. Y'all saw him, and most places would sell it to us. I think some of the old people didn't even realize the drinking age had changed or just ignored it. So, don't let my cigarette go out. Well, that's okay. I'll light another one. We partied and had a big summer. He went off to college, not the same one I went to. I wish to goodness he had. But I've been told these dogs are distracting. I apologize for that, but I can't lock them in the house because they'll worry Sarah to death wanting to come out here with me. So y'all just ignore them. If they bark, which they will, you shouldn't hear it with this microphone on. I had a college that Gardner Webb up in North Carolina, about an hour from here. They were set up for blind people. They had several blind people there, and we'll get into that a little bit. But I could get my tests in Braille. It was a great situation if I had worked it right. I think I made the mistake that a lot of kids made back then, and they probably still make it. And I saw this a lot in my later years because I did go on and graduate, not from this college. One and done with this semester of hell I went through in '87. First day I was there, I met the guy next door. We had one of them, gosh, I hope that place ain't still open. You had one hall, community bathroom, and one payphone, and no air conditioning. And we were upstairs. Oh, boy. And first day of school, classes hadn't even started yet. I met a kid that lived next door to me named Scott. I don't know what happened to him. He's probably a nice guy now. He probably grew up like most of us did. First night, he had a fake ID in college. Imagine that. Went to Pizza Hut, got us a pitcher of beer. I stole the cup from there and used it the whole semester to drink out of, a big old huge plastic cup. And just partied and drank. It was a dry campus. You couldn't drink, but that, didn't slow us down. And so immediately I had the long hair, a lot longer than this, the earring, the look, and I got in with this guy and all the people around me, a bunch of 18-year-old hoodlums, sort of like I was. And it started out okay. I was going to class some of the time. Those 8 o'clocks on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday were rough when you partied just about every night. It was great for Monday Night Football. I didn't have nothing till like 10:30 on Tuesday, Thursday. But it didn't take long for it to start going bad for me. The kids around me were just mean. And like I say, they're probably great people now. They're all my age, 56 or thereabouts. They were all a bunch of 18-year-olds. But it was going well for a short time, and then they started doing stuff to me. I'd never dealt with this. I went through 12 years of public school. One kid my senior year bothered me a little bit, but the principal took care of him, and then he was so nice. He was lovey-dovey. Hadn't seen that boy since high school, but in any event, everybody that knows me from school will know exactly who I'm talking about. But that was minor compared to this. These kids at Garden Web in the dorm, well, having my clothes stolen in the bathroom, I didn't worry about too much because everybody got treated. We just run up down the damn hall naked, because if you took anything with you, it wouldn't be there when you got through with the community shower where everybody stood around and talked to each other. Oh boy, I hope any of y'all that went to college didn't deal with this crap. But I started going in my room and rearranging stuff, hiding stuff, putting shaving cream all over I had a Foot Locker I kept my crap in, old Army one, putting crap on, just doing stuff to me. Oh, one day we were in the Pizza Hut again, a bunch of us, and I asked for a cigarette like I've got in my hand, because yes, you could smoke in that restaurant and just about any of them in 1987. And they loaded my cigarette up with cayenne pepper. Now, I don't think that's supposed to be smoked, because it sure did a number on me when I took a big hit of it, which they thought was just so funny. I'd be sitting on the floor on the only payphone we had, and somebody walked down the hall, and they'd just bowl me over, just knock me on my back. They would come in my room and wrestle me and not say nothing, and I didn't know who they were. I was 135 pounds, so I didn't necessarily win any of the matches, but it's just a constant thing. I mean, they were doing stuff to each other, but they would come do stuff to me that being blind meant I could be the butt of the joke for everybody in the dorm. And it sucked. And I hated it. And I was 18 and not, I won't say I was clueless. I'd done pretty good in high school, considering I went through public school, the only blind kid that had ever done it at that time, period. Had a 2.89 GPA, which ain't nothing to write home about, but it's not terrible. And I did well in English 101 because I took advanced English for 4 years of high school, and I was pretty good at it. I remember the teacher, he's probably dead and gone, Dr. Taylor, asked me, was I in his class? And I was confused by that and said, yes, sir. And he said, well, why don't you prove it by showing up sometimes? And I got his point. I would have had a B all day long, but he deducted for being absent like 12 times, so I got a C, and I was probably lucky that he gave me that. And I dropped the one class completely, history. I just didn't like it, and it wasn't the kind of history I wanted to learn about. I would take it later and make an A in it, but this was then. Western civilization, just not too interesting to an 18-year-old kid. And I was in the band. I was a band nerd, but what the deal was, it was a stand-up band. It obviously was not a marching band, because the college did have a football team. And their bass player just graduated, so they let me play the 6-string guitar with a big ass amp, about almost as tall as me, had like 4 12s or 15s in it. So I could crank it, and just, if I wanted to, I could just drown the whole band out. Me and the drummer were pretty good buddies. When we did stuff like Wipeout and Johnny Be Good, I would just blast it. And we got creative. Yeah, I had a nerd uniform on. I don't think we have any pictures of me then. You didn't have a camera on the phone because no one had a cell phone. No one had a cell phone when I graduated college. So that's, that ages me, but, what are you going to do? So they were mean. They would rearrange my room, wrestle me, just do whatever they felt like doing to me. And I just had to take it. There wasn't really nobody. The RA knew what was going on, but he didn't really care. They would stop it if I yelled for the RA real loud, but then as soon as he turned his back, it was back on. So I wanted to quit, pack it up, start over. But my dad, really pushed me to not quit. And honestly, I'm glad he did. But I remember sitting up here with my grandparents and just crying because he had told me, man up, son, stick it out. Just hang in there. Just finish the semester, be tough. And I didn't feel all that tough at 18 when I was dealing with the kind of treatment I'd never had before in my life. I'd never been mistreated, specifically because I couldn't see and everybody around me could. Here comes a loud motorcycle, but maybe I won't hear it too much. But so I did what Dad said. I got toward the end. I was just making cassettes, going around and seeing what great, because nobody on that floor had a CD player. That would come a little later. And I was not studying for exams, just goofing because I knew I was getting the hell out of there. And the fact that I had set up for blind people was great if I was in a good group. I don't want to say I brought it all on myself. I never talk about this. My wife's not even heard this stuff. She will on the video, obviously. But if I hadn't hung out with the bad crowd, even though they lived around me, if I'd got with a good group of kids, maybe BSU, Baptist Student Union, which I got involved with at my next college, things might have been better. They might have ignored me, but I was gung-ho to party, to drink. I thought that's what you did in college. That is what you do if you don't want to stay long, or I figured out how to balance it for my next semesters at the different school, and it all worked out. Hey, May. But it was just really hard. I mean, they wouldn't let up. They decided they were going to give me acid. I was going to do a little LSD, and I had one guy, and his name was Gene. He was Scott's roommate. He didn't really try to stop most of the stuff, but he said, if any of y'all gives Mark acid, I will beat your ass. And he was like 262. There's a bunch of skinny jerks like me and his big ass. And so I didn't drop acid, and I'm so thankful. Scott did get me to smoke pot with him. My girlfriend was not happy. I'd never done it before. I was drunk after a football game and did it. And wow, it was something. I'm surprised I didn't try it in high school. I don't know why. A lot of people around me did it. I just was drinking. Excuse me, boys and girls. If you can't see how to light your cigarette, you just hope for the best, like I said on the previous video. But I stuck it out. I actually come out of there with 11 hours. I will tell you a funny story. I took golf and bowling, and we would drive. Our teacher had us meet out by the dorm to practice driving, and the whole class got behind me when I was doing my driving. I don't understand that. Nobody want to get anywhere near me. I had better luck at the bowling alley. But it was just really hard. I had to grow up a lot, and thankfully I did. And nobody ever really hurt me physically, but I'd had a lot of pride about myself. I thought I was a good-looking guy. I wasn't bad. I always had a great tan, and I just got abused for a whole semester. There were some good times in there. I enjoyed playing at the football games. The people in the band was a whole different crew than the people that lived around me. And it was fun having senior cheerleaders come up and ask me to play Stairway to Heaven like way before a game and stuff. Good looking girls, and me, an 18-year-old kid. But for the most part, it was a college nightmare that I've chosen not to talk about. I've not even ever talked to a counselor about it. I'm telling y'all this stuff because it's been 38 years. I can look back on it and I can see that I brought some of it on myself, but some of it I didn't, and none of it should have happened. When I left that December with my 11-hour credit hours that did transfer, I went to a brand new school that was not set up for blind people, and did fine. I'll talk about that in my next video. I had 3 semesters there. It was at North Greenville Junior College. It's a 4-year school now. It was not then. But I met Mike and Hugo, 2 of my best friends to this day. I talked to Mike, in fact, earlier today. I apologize for the puppy dogs, but we love them. We don't have children, and we love our doggies. I'm sorry if they distract you. I hope this microphone helps with some of that. But Anyway, Gardner Webb was a terrible, terrible situation for me. It was really hard, and I wanted to quit really bad, but I just didn't. I stuck it out, and I'm thankful I did, because I would have taken 5 years to graduate college instead of the 4.5. I was still able to get out in 91. My college ring says 91. My high school says 87, so I still made it on time. But I've never been back to that school, not one time. I've not ever been up there. I can't remember last names to try to find people on Facebook, and honestly, I'd rather not. Like I say, I'm sure they're great people now. When you're 18 and mom and daddy cuts your butt loose, you tend to act a fool. And I could act a fool with the best of them. The unfortunate problem was that picking on me became easy target. Let's do stuff to the blind guy. I'm so glad that Gene kept me from dropping acid, because I've heard that can come back on you. I've smoked weed and I've drank like I'm doing right now, but I never done any of that cocaine, acid. LSD was a lot more popular then. I don't know about now, because I don't know any young people to ask. Well, I know a couple of kids I could ask, I guess. But anyway, I survived it. I got to North Greenville, which will be the next video, probably after we get back from Nashville, and everything was great when I got there. Had a great time, met some great friends. 2 of them I talked to. Hugo lives down in the low country. Y'all meet him sooner or later. He's a hot mess. A coon hunter, good old country boy. Leonard Skinner lover, and a big Clemson fan like I am. So he's pissed about Saturday too. But I had fun in the band. I had fun. My girlfriend at home supported me, and I really appreciate that, because I needed support at that time. But I got through it, and it was painful. I'm sure I cried more than once, but I didn't let nobody see me. I didn't mind my grandparents seeing me. I'm not upset with my dad for pushing me so hard to not quit, because it saved me an extra semester of college, and I did carry 11 hours out of 15. I quit one, and to be honest, that golf and bowling got old, and I was drinking too much on Monday Night Football, so I just quit going. I do remember a kid hitting a golf ball in the hallway, and it bounced off my head so hard it smacked the ceiling, and that golf balls hurt, boys and girls. I don't recommend you get hit in the head with one. That could explain why I am the way I am today, but I hope not. But that's about it. I can't really think of any more. It was just constant. The fear of not knowing when they were going to do something to me and what they were going to do was probably worse than when they did things. They at least didn't beat me up or cut me up or hurt me physically, seriously. I mean, I tripped over things they'd pull out for me to trip over and stuff like that, but I survived it, and I learned a lot from it, and thankfully I've never had those kind of problems since that day. And I'm going to go in the house and watch this video one time, and I'm probably never going to watch it again. I don't know what y'all will think about it, but I've been more honest with you than pretty much my family and friends. I call it my dark, forgotten semester of college, and I put it on the back burner and tried not to ever think about it again once I left the college. And I'm sure Gardner Webb's a great school. It's a university now. It's a Christian college, which is amusing considering what was done to me. But I think it grew me up a lot, because I did graduate college. I did do well. Did I keep partying? Sure. But I knew when to party and when to study and when to work. And I balanced that out, thankfully. One thing I do regret, I was taking classical guitar. I got one semester of it. I think I could have learned a lot from this teacher if I'd have had 4 years, and I could be playing classical music on the guitar. But I had to leave, and it wasn't taught the other schools I went to, so that's just how it is. Hope y'all enjoy this. It's not one of my happy, silly, goofy videos, but it's very honest. I've told y'all how it was, how I was mistreated. I don't really blame the kids. Well, I did, but they're my age now. I'm sure they're good people. And like I say, I was easy pickings. You know, you're low on the totem pole as 18-year-old in a 4-year college. And here was, I don't know how much it made them feel good about themselves to do really cruel things to me, but they must have enjoyed it quite a lot, because it happened quite a bit. I don't have any regrets and stuff. I wish I'd handled it differently, but it's been 38 years. I've got a great life. I have a super good wife who allows me to do this stuff, and great family and super awesome friends. And you've met one or two, you'll meet plenty more in the days and weeks to months to come. Next time y'all see me at Sup for Album of the Day, I will be in Nashville. I'm going to take y'all on a walking tour of Nashville, all the bars, the country scene. It's really awesome. I did it back in March for my birthday, but we're going to have more time. I'll do a video from the Grand Ole Opry before it starts. I'll do one from the Eric Clapton concert before it starts. Hope everybody has a great week. And tell your kids, don't get in with the bad crowd. If you have any kids that are going to college, don't screw it the way I did. Y'all have a good evening.